Yes, I think we're going. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to yoga this morning. I hope you have a good place to practice, all spread out, your mat ready, your blanket or your pillow, whatever you have to help yourself. Grace, would you please turn off your, wait a second. Oh, Grace, hold on, just once. Do our best. All right, so we are recording. We don't know what's going to happen, do we? So here we go. We'll do our best this morning. You know, this is February 9th, and so this Sunday is Valentine's Day. And traditionally in yoga, I usually do something about the heart, and today will be no different. And the Bible talks a lot about different kinds of love. There's brotherly love, there's romantic love, there's the kind of love that God has for us, and that's what we're going to talk about this morning, of course. So, did you know that in your physical heart, this is so interesting. You know, you hear about somebody's tugging at your heartstrings. Our heart really does have strings, and they're called the chordae tendineae. And they are little fibers that connect to all the valves in your heart that are between the chambers of your heart. So they keep the valves under control so that when your heart is pumping, the valves don't get all flappy and crazy. They keep everything under control. So those are your heart strings. They're little fibers. Your heart also emanates a biomagnetic field because it's the most highly charged organ in your body. So when your heart is pumping, it emanates an electrical field that goes out, I've heard, at least 12 feet from your body. So the heart emanates energy outward. And so that is why when you come into the presence of another person, you can often feel a heart connection, or maybe not. Grace, can you turn off your mute, please? Thank you. And I mean, turn it on. Good Lord, honey, help me, Jesus. Turn on your mute, quiet yourself. Thank you. And so, yeah, so we connect with other people. And also, God reaches out to us with his heart. There's a wonderful verse I'm going to read to you in a moment from the book of Hosea, in which God tells us that he has sent out his heart to his people, and sometimes we just don't respond. We don't get it. But it's a beautiful story of how, or verses about how God reaches out to us and the longing of his heart for us. So that is why we feel that. We feel that there's something missing, that maybe we're being drawn to God's presence in some way. So going to invite you to rest back on your mat. And make yourselves comfortable as we enter into this wonderful season of, here we go. Now I have everybody on mute. Everything all, and I thought I was anyway. All right, so you should be resting back on your mat now. And if you are not, I'm going to ask you to be very quiet and listen so that we don't interrupt the flow of the screen. Thank you. So as always, when we begin our class, we rest back and begin a journey of presence to this place. So as you're getting comfortable, beginning by looking around at your surroundings. Notice where you are. That sacred ordinary, the place where you are so surrounded by all the things that look very familiar to you, I'm imagining. And each one of those things probably represents to you some choice that you've made, or some place where you've been, or some thought that you were having, or some idea you were pursuing in a book, papers, your computer, relationships, all those things that are around you day after day after day that comprise your life. It's all very special and precious. I'm going to ask you to mute yourself again. Thank you. And so there you are in the sacred ordinary, just looking. I'm going to invite you now to close your eyes. If that's comfortable. If it isn't, you can just keep your eyes. Keep a gentle gaze. And begin to listen. So you want to send your thoughts and awareness out to the space around you. And listen. So now you're listening to the sounds of your sacred ordinary. Just noticing if there's something a little bit different in your environment today, something that you haven't heard before, something really quiet. Maybe it's your own breath. And what are the sounds that stand out for you a little bit more? And then coming to an awareness of the actual space where you are. We just talked about the emanations of our hearts, the electrical magnetic field that comes out from the organ of the heart into the space around you. I invite you today to think about God sending out God's own field towards you to draw you to God's heart. What is it like to search for a sense of that this morning? Just take a moment. And whether you can feel that or not, it's okay. I'm going to ask you to grasp it maybe just on a mental level. If you don't sense anything, just know that He's promised that. God has promised to reach out to us, and that our environment is full of the presence of God this morning. And coming home to your body, resting, noticing what you brought with your physical self today, any aches or pains, any places that feel really yummy this morning. Everything that you are and all that's a part of you is here right on this mat today. Every place you've ever been, and those places ahead of us where we're traveling, just here right now. And then coming home to your breath. Taking some easy breaths in and out. If you'd like to lengthen out your inhalation and exhalation, that's great. Please do. And notice how it feels to deepen and yet soften our awareness of the breath coming in. And just an easy release of your breath out on your exhale. Settling into some sort of rhythm. If that's not accessible, that's okay. So noticing your breath moving in and out. And I'll share with you this morning our opening verse from the book of Hosea. Hosea was a prophet, and God gave him a very unfaithful, wild and crazy, highfalutin woman to be his wife. And in our awareness of these scriptures, it's symbolic of us, God's people, not staying faithful, running off doing this, flirting around with other deities and making idols of other things. And so God's heart aches over those things. He longs for us to come home to God's presence. So I'll share with you from the book of Hosea, It's chapter 11. And it says, when Israel was a child, I loved him. And out of Egypt I called my son. The more I called them, the further from me they went. They kept sacrificing to other gods, and they burned incense to idols. Yet it was I who taught them to walk. I took them up in my arms, but they did not know that I healed them. I led them with bands of human kindness, with cords of love. I treated them like those who lift infants to their cheeks. I bent down to them and fed them. So I'm going to read that one little verse, a couple little verses for you at the end there, just again, thinking about the chords in our heart, the heartstrings, and how as our heart beats, it sends out this magnetic energy, and God sends that same energy toward us. As God says, it was I who taught you to walk. I took you up in my arms, but sometimes you don't know that it's me who heals you. I lead you with bands of kindness, with cords of love. I treat you like those who lift infants to their cheeks. I bend down to feed you. What are those images like for you today? As we know that God loves us, he bends down to feed us. He holds us up to his cheek as a person who takes a baby up to their cheek and breathes in that sweet baby breath, cares for them, loves us, you. Oh, what a message for Valentine's Day. A big heart, a big doily, a big amazing Valentine for you today, to know that God reaches out with cords of kindness from his heart to yours today. So knowing those things, can we take a big stretch? Send the arms up over your head, send your legs out below you, and take whatever stretch you need this morning for your body in this place. And we'll come home further to the body by just noticing your wrists or circling out wrists in any way that you'd like. I know you're lying on your mat. I'm sitting here in front of the screen. I'm just twirling my wrists around. So twirl them, feel them, stretch out your fingers nice and wide. Take a breath and relax, release. Send your thoughts down into your ankles. Send the ankles swirling around. Nice and easy. Opening up and circling other way with the ankles. And then silencing your feet. And on your next breath, if you would, you feel like doing this, let's take the toes wide. Inhale the toes out wide. On your exhale, soften your feet and toes. Draw your knees into your chest when you're ready. And on your inhale, let's, first of all, let's take soles of the feet to the mat. Let's do that. Take your soles of the feet to the mat as you're lying here. On your inhale, let's take arms overhead. And on your exhale, float your arms down by your side. And we'll do this a few times, taking arms up on your in-breath and floating your arms down by your side on your exhale. And inhale, lift and reach over your head. Feeling the shoulders begin to open a little bit. Exhale down, hands come by your side. And now we'll draw knees to our chest. Take the knees in. On your inhale, press the soles of your feet up to the sky, lengthening through your legs. How does that feel on the backs of your legs here? You can even take your hand behind your legs. Give yourself a little massage back there. Breathe. And then rest your hands by your sides. And on your next inhale, press up again. Ooh, big snap in my ankle. Inhale, press up. Exhale, bend your knees, draw your knees in, catch them in your hands, pull them towards your shoulders. Allow your next breath to send the feet up again. And your exhale will draw the knees in. Take them to the shoulders, pull your knees in. And we'll do it one more time. Take the legs up. And maybe while you're here, let's flex and point through your feet. Allow your hips to be very grounded. Feet moving back and forth. Good. Pointing through your toes, pressing your heels. Circle out the ankles again. Breathe and other way. Good. And press up nice and long. Inhaling and exhaling, drawing your knees in. And we'll take arms out side to side. So your knees are in. Let's open your arms out from the shoulders or wherever they're comfortable. And guide your awareness now to the heart shining upward from the center of your chest. As the shoulders are wide here, shoulder blades drop down into the floor underneath you so that you can maybe feel that, maybe spread a little bit in the chest muscles so that the heart can open a little bit more. Good, good. So let's look down at your knees, send your toes up so you can just see your toes peeking above your knees. And we'll take a breath in center. On your exhale, glide your knees over to the right side. As you're taking your exhale, you're going to draw your belly in for control and take your knees over to the right. You may take your gaze to the left side, turn your head. And on your inhale, draw your knees to center. And exhale other way. So the knees are going to drop slowly to your left side with control as you take your gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale up to center, we'll do that again. And exhale to the right. Your gaze turns over your left shoulder, very easy, as far as you feel comfortable. Left shoulder stays down toward the mat as best you can. And then inhaling up to center. And exhale other way one more time. Notice if your right shoulder wants to come up a little bit. So that's an indication that maybe your right chest muscles are a little bit stuck here today, maybe a little congested. And then we'll come back to center and go to the other side one more time and stay. So we're going to exhale over to the right side and just hold there for a little bit. Noticing here how your lower back feels. So if you're feeling a little pinchy there, tuck your tail a little bit, move your legs around. See where you feel the most comfortable. If you need to come back and lay on your back with your knees bent, that's fine too. So once you're here, if your legs are over to the side, we're going to lift up the shins off the mat about an inch, keeping your feet flexed. And now from your shins, draw your awareness up on the diagonal to your left shoulder. And we'll lift that left shoulder up off the mat just a little bit and tuck the shoulder blade underneath you a hair more. And then settle the shoulder down. And we'll just take a breath here. You can blow it out through your mouth if you like. On your inhale, draw the knees to center. And on your exhale, we're going to sail over the other way with control. Again, you're going to pause over here as your knees drop to your left. Notice how your back feels. And we'll take our right hand to our right hip. I just want to point something out here. As you're here, if you take your hand on your right hip and push it away from the rib cage, we want to create some length in your side body there between the hip and the ribs. You don't want them all hiked up. So notice where you're comfortable, kind of squish around a little bit till you find a good place. And then if you can, pick up your feet so your shins come off the mat a little bit. Softening in the chest, opening broadly. And we'll very gently pick up the right shoulder off the mat. Tuck your right shoulder blade underneath you just a little bit. Take a breath and then exhale. Let everything relax. Let everything soften, settle. A couple of breaths here. Good. On your inhale, come up through center. We'll plant the soles of the feet in the mat and realign your spine here. Sometimes when we twist, the spine gets a little bit wonky on the mat, a little sideways, a little crazy. So come on and settle your hips to center. We'll draw the knees up, take the knees in your hands and circle the thighs around through their sockets. Row in that boat and breathe. Feet are flexed, nice and easy. And then reverse those circles. Just rowing that boat along. Keep your belly engaged to support your back. And then draw knees to center, pull them in towards you. Take a breath here. And if you like, you can tuck your chin to your chest, lift your head off the mat, draw your knees towards you, stretch out your back. And then gently lower your head down. Good, and we'll roll over onto our side toward the screen. Take your elbow up underneath your head for support, or your forearm. And take a moment to catch up with your breath here. So we're just gonna stay there for just a moment to get ourselves settled. And then we'll press slowly up to sitting. So if you're more comfortable as you come to sitting, perching on a blanket, please do that, or towel, a little pillow, whatever you have for support. You want to perch your sit bones kind of on the edge of that, so you aren't falling off the edge, but you aren't plunked all the way back onto the blanket. You want to be a little closer to the edge so you can maneuver your sit bones, so you can feel very stable here. So I have my legs crossed. If you feel more comfortable with your legs out, that is perfect, whatever you like to do. So we're going to take the spine up nice and tall, ease down your shoulders, ease them out a little bit. Maybe take your gaze side to side, ease out your neck. Here you are sitting. And we'll sit here. We'll take a breath in center. We're going to do a little opening for the energy centers this morning. So sit up tall and we'll shift to the side and roll around to the front and other side and back. So as you're here, notice where you feel it. Do you feel the perineal area pressing down, grounding, your sit bones kind of rolling around there? But your spine stays nice and tall and you're just rocking around it. And we're going to reverse it. So other way. Keeping your hips stable. Good. Breathe. And then come back to center. As you come center, shift forward. We'll lengthen the back, sit up tall on your inhale. And exhale, scoop the hips under, round your spine back, shoulders down on your exhale. Let the back of your neck lengthen. And we'll inhale nice and tall here, lift up. And exhale back. So we're tucking, it's like a seated cat-cow or camel ride. And come on up. Did you ever ride a camel at the fair? Woo! Yes, sirree, Bob. Nothing like it. Inhale up. Exhale back. A couple more times. Inhaling, just waking up the spine to flex forward and back. Good. And coming up to center now. So we've moved through the sacral area, in and out. We've done a little bit with the solar plexus as we go back and forth. Now we're moving to this heart area, this place where those heartstrings are in there, keeping your valves working just right. Your heart is emanating toward me. I can feel it. It's wonderful. I can feel those hearts out there just reaching out. And so know that God is reaching out toward you too today, as we have learned from the book of Hosea. And so we'll take the arms out and say, here I am, come and get me. And inhale, open the heart. Reach out, yes, and exhale, gather your heart in. Inhale, open. So we want to be open-hearted, but we also want to have good boundaries and careful, but we want to gather God in. Inhale, open. Exhale, just gathering in that love today. Inhale, open one more time. Exhale in. And let's do it again. Open up the heart, turn your palms up, thumbs behind you, shoulders soft, sit up tall. Breathe. Good. Good, 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 good. And exhale in when you're ready. And we'll take hands to shoulders. Give yourself a little squeeze around the shoulders. A little massage here, down to your elbows. Your sweet little elbows. Take your massage down to your wrists. And the interlace fingers here, and we'll just snake the arms around, opening up wrists and fingers. And breathe it. You can take your whole body here if you want. Just let that feel really good, whatever feels right to you. But we're opening up that heart space, opening up the hands and fingers. Press out, bring it in, press out. Yes, 3. And then we'll work our way back up from the wrist to the elbows and circle out the elbows, the shoulders, up and over and other way. Good, yummy. Ooh, shake it out. Yes, 3, shake out your hands, your body. Ooh. Let's take a breath in. Take the arms, let's see, arms up and out here. Take a breath and and up. And last time. Yes, and we'll do that as our one couple of lion's breaths now. So let's come back to center. We don't want to miss lion's breath. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, your tongue will come out. Your eyes look up. Opening the throat, finding your voice. 2 more times. Notice that your spine stays tall. Inhale. And exhale. Very nice. Lions and lionesses out there. So let's take palms to the forehead. Interlace your fingers. Pull your fingers side to side, opening the forehead. So this is to welcome in God's presence in our thoughts. And smoothing out your forehead for every mental or physical thing or emotional or spiritual thing we do. We always have some wonderful little physical yumminess to go along with it. Good. And now we'll come around and massage out the scalp. Just press out easy. We're going to do a very pointed or focused scalp massage in a moment, but just brush it off. And then interlace your fingers, press out, take your arms up over your head. So shoulders are soft, spine is tall. Press up on your inhale. Exhale, hands down to your head. Inhale, pressing up. This is symbolic of connecting to heaven. Bringing the hands down to your whole body, heaven coming, pouring down into your body here. Press up, inhale, exhale down, and press up one more time. Open on your exhale. Float your hands down. Good, so we'll take our hands now down out to the heart. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders are broad and soft, away from your ears. And coming to a very gentle, easy breath. And as you're here, I'm going to just repeat those verses from Hosea this morning. If you want to close your eyes and take it in, you can. If you'd like to just sit and look with your breath softly moving in and out, just soften your gaze. But it was I who taught you to walk. I took you up in my arms. And there are times that you did not know that I heal you. I lead you with bands of human kindness. I lead you with cords of love. I treat you like those who lift infants to their cheeks. I bend down and I feed you. So what would it be like for you today as you have your hands on your heart and your breath moving in and out, to sense that you are held to God's cheek like a baby, that God's love is moving with those cords of kindness from God's heart to your heart, drawing you in, holding you, protecting you, caring for you this morning. And just resting your hands down. Notice how your body feels here. How does your heart feel? How does your mind feel? Where is that? So let's take our hands to our head. Now, we talk about scalp massage. So we know that we have our skin of our scalp, and it just, our skin is continuous, hopefully, goes all the way over our heads, around through our bodies, like this little body stocking we're wearing. But underneath the scalp, if you grossly peeled your forehead away, if you peel the scalp, the skin off your head, you would see underneath these connective fibers to all the muscles. You have this thin layer of strong muscle that connects. It's really all around on your forehead, your frontal muscles, your parietal muscles on the side of your head, the occipital muscles on the back. And feel that little ridge of your skull back there. So on top of that ridge, there are muscles that go all the way to the top of your head. You can press in and rub from the back to the front. Your hair is going to look great after this, I promise. So back and forth. Breathe. Now take your little fingers and press in and circle. So maybe if you take a moment to really notice, you can notice that you're moving those muscles around too. It's not just your scalp you're moving around, your skin, you're moving muscle around. And that's what we want to think about when we massage our scalp. And your forehead, you want to pull side to side. See, those fibers go this way. If you go across, you're really giving them a chance to soften. And then around your ears, you're going to press in gently and move the muscles around. So if you feel it's really tight, sometimes I know with myself, I think a lot. My brain is always like going like crazy. So sometimes even my head muscles are like really tight. So if you have loose and easy head muscles, you're kind of lucky there because maybe you don't get headaches as much. So now we're going to go around behind that occipital ridge. It's that ridge that's on the back of your skull. Go behind it. Take the pads of your fingers with love this morning. Press in gently and circle. Press in and circle. And breathe. And pull it down. And you're going to work all the way around the back of your neck. So you'll notice you might feel those little stringy muscles on either side of your spine. They connect up to that occipital ridge and they go all the way down to your vertebrae here and your shoulders, right? So you can feel how everything is all connected here. You've got intake, come to the front of let's go behind your ear, and you can feel that little, if you go down the bone that's right behind your ear, you can go down and feel that strappy muscle that goes all the way down from your skull down to your sternum. It's your sternocleidomastoid, and it's a big muscle that helps turn your head side to side. It takes your head back and forth. This one really gets tight because our heads are down a lot. So you can learn to massage that too. We can do that another time. So for now, we're just going to massage around real good here. Give yourself a good rub. Press in as far as you feel comfortable. And then we'll come to our ears and give your ears a good rub. This is why we do this, because the ears, if the ears are happy, your head is often very happy too. Your neck, your shoulders. So we'll massage out your ears inside and out. Breathe. Easy breath. And so we'll take the tops of our ears, pull them straight up. Take a breath. The middle ear, pull it out. And your earlobes, tug them down. Just stop for a moment. Rest your hands on your knees. Breathe. So how does your head feel? How do your shoulders feel? How do your little ears feel? Easy breath. So let's take our right hand across to the left shoulder, press in tight and pull it down on the diagonal and across and brush it off. This is an acupressure exercise to get this crisscross energy that goes through your body activated through the meridians. So if we were doing acupuncture, we might use one of these same points, this shoulder point, pull it down, and let's go other side. Press and pull across. Off for the hip. Press, breathe, pull across. Good. And then we'll ease out the shoulders. Maybe take a little twist forward and back, just kind of real easy. Breathe. Good. Ease it out. And then we'll take our thumbs. So underneath your orbital bone here, just thump here, take a breath. And then all around your eyes. Breathe and come to the point of your collarbone where it meets your sternum, thump here. And breathe. And the center of your chest, little Tarzan thump. You can, remember? Ooh, pretty bad. That's pretty weak. Little Tarzan yell there. And under your breasts here, take on your rib cage, we'll massage around, and we'll move around to the side. Underneath your arm, about 4 inches, press in. Give it a little press, a little twirl, and we'll do it all the way down your legs. So let's press your legs out, reach forward. Notice how I'm running my hands down my legs. I like to do that because it helps me come home to myself and feel nurtured and cared for. You do it the way you like. So press forward, and then we're just going to tap up the sides of our legs all the way up to that same little point and twirl. And we'll just do it one more time. Press forward, tap it out, insides of your, under your arms here, and shake it out. Good. So let's come to all fours. Going to come onto our knees and come to your blanket or towel or pillow if you like. We're going to go directly into a lunge here this morning. So come to all fours. And we'll take the right leg out into your lunge, right leg forward. Notice if you're complaining about this, notice how your body feels. Just notice what you're feeling as you come here. But we want the hips to be square forward, pressing through, take your hands down, always secure in your core there, tummy in. And we'll take a gaze forward, take a breath here. On your exhale, simply shift your hips all the way back behind you. You're not going to sit on your calf. You're just going to shift back, draw the front toes up, and just check in with the back of your leg, front toes up. On your inhale, you'll press forward, climb ahead. Exhale back, toes up, shift back evenly. So you don't want your hips to be hiking up one way or another. You want them to shift straight back, toes up. Inhale forward. Exhale back and stay here. Take a little breath here as you draw the toes up. Shift your right groin back behind you, the right hip crease back behind. Stay as long as you can in your chest, in your belly. Take the right hip down toward the mat. So you want to just roll your hip down a little bit so your alignment is good. And breathe. And then we'll shift forward, pressing through with your hips, lift your heart. And best you can, resting here, pressing through. If you want to come up to the knee, you can lift your heart. We're not leaning on our leg. We're pressing the chest up, pressing through with the hips straight forward. Breathing here. You might feel a real opening here in the hip flexor on your left. Lifting up nice and tall, valiant heart here, light-hearted, courageous. The courage comes from heart, core, heartage. Pressing through, lengthening out. Good. And then we'll shift back, take your right leg back, press back to child's pose. We're going to take the toes together, knees apart a little bit, walk your hands back. Shimmy your hips if you'd like, just settle side to side and press back. Just to the point where it feels comfortable for you. If you need something under your head, if your forehead doesn't want to meet the mat, you can take a blanket or pillow, something to settle on here. Arms are reaching forward, but notice where your shoulders are. Take the shoulders back towards your hips. You want to take the shoulders away from your ears. And then on your inhale, come up and we'll take the left leg forward. I'm going to turn around just so I have my leg in front of you. So again, we're going to even out through the pelvis. Take your hip pointers forward. Ooh, I went for a little run yesterday. My leg is really tight. Ooh. And inhale, come forward. Stay there. Just feel it pressing through with your hips here. So notice how this might feel differently on this side. And we're going to take a breath. Exhale back. Pick those front toes up, shifting back, even out your hips. Toes are up. You can even take hold of them if you want. But be careful that you're not locking this knee joint. You want to have a little bit of softness. Engage the quadricep here. Press back through your hips. Toes come up. And on your next exhale, come forward. And we'll just flow back and forth a little bit. So let's inhale, toes point up, sit back. And exhale forward. Inhale, press up and push back and forth. And we'll stay here. No. Come back one time. Here we go. Toes up. Stay there. Notice the length in the back of your leg. You know, sometimes I'm feeling right now like I want to move my ankle around. So, you know, whatever you're feeling, if you want to wag your tail a little bit, see how that affects what you're doing. Sometimes it's fun to do that. And we're going to shift forward, press through, and stay. So if you want to stay here, you can keep your hands down. If you'd like to take your hands up to your knee, press forward, lift the heart, always engaged in the belly. Nice and strong in the pelvis. So even here, I kind of like to wiggle around just a little bit and see what everything feels like. Where's that? What's that going to do? What's this going to do? But be very careful. Press it out. Oh, yeah. And then we'll shift out of this, come back, and take your foot behind you again. Press back to child's pose again. So you're just going to sit your hips back. If you'd like to take your hands by your heels, please do that. Good. And we'll come on up to all fours and take a couple little cat-cows here. So we're going to even out the spine. So you come to table, take an inhale, lift your heart, lift your tail. On your exhale, round your spine. So this is another little inhale, heart opens. Exhale, heart gathers in, spine curls under. And inhale, lengthen and lift. Oh, stretch out your tummy, it feels good, yes. And exhale, round and curl. Good, and then we'll come to center. We're gonna come up here into kneeling. So we're gonna go into a little modified camel here. Once again, Valentine's Day, heart openers, that's just a tradition. So come to kneeling. Again, if you need your blanket or towel underneath your knees, please take that. So we want to align our knees under our hips, shoulders over the hips. So we're right in center here, gathered in, nice and strong. Take our hands behind us by rolling the right shoulder up and back, left shoulder broad and back, and take your hands to your lower back, pressing the shoulders down. Come around this way. And so we want to press the thighs forward. Press your thighs forward, lifting your heart. So you're not just sinking in your lower back, pressing it forward. You're keeping it stable. This is why your hands are here, to keep it pressed down. And you're just lifting through the heart, shoulder blades toward each other, and you're just going to gaze up. So it's very simple. It's not an all the way back. You don't have to go all the way back to your feet. You're just going to lift, open the heart space. Find a place where it's comfortable for you to be lifted here and breathe here. A couple of easy breaths. Easy breaths there. If you're ready to come out of it, very slowly lift the heart up, come back to center. And then take our hands, run them down your thighs, take them to the mat, and then we'll just kind of rock side to side here. Do a little cat, or come down to child's pose. And just settle there for a moment. Good. Take your hands back by your ankles and circle out your wrists. And breathe. And then we'll take hands under your shoulders, press up. We're going to come all the way back to our knees here. So once again, we're on our knees. So I'm going to tell you, let's see, where we're going with this is that we'll take one leg out to the side. Don't do it yet if you have back or leg issues and you're concerned about your placement here. So we're going to be here and here. So if this isn't good for you, but take whatever's comfortable. We could start, you could go ahead and sit down and just bend one knee and take the opposite leg out. It's a little side bend that we're going to be doing. Or you can come up onto your knees and we'll come up tall, get your alignment going so the heart is lifted, spine is nice and long. Take one leg out to the side. Your toes don't have to be up as in gate pose. You're just going to take your foot and support yourself any way that's comfortable with a foot down. So we'll lift up. So be mindful that you're not sinking in your lower back. You're really keeping everything strong in alignment. And you're just going to shift to the side, take your hand down. So maybe just to fingertips if you need to go. If you have a book laying there and you want to take it on the book, just very easy. So we'll take the hand down and we're just going to do some hand circles, keeping the chest open. So we'll take an inhale up and circle it around like the hands of a clock. So you're engaged in your rear end is engaged. Your inner thigh here down here is engaged. This leg is engaged. Your whole core is engaged here. And we're just going to inhale up, stretch way out. Arm comes down. Inhale up and over. Reach out. Arm comes down. So keep your head in line with your spine. If you're sitting on the floor, you're just going to sit up, take it over, and reach out. Up and over, reach out. And then come back to center. Find your center. And then we'll draw this knee in. So if you're seated on the floor, you're just going to reverse it. One leg in, other leg out. And draw yourself to the side. If you're on your knees, come to your knees, take one leg out to the side. And find the floor somewhere down there. So once again, if you're up here, it's very important to be mindful of keeping your tummy in, spine straight. And we'll inhale, take arm up, circle it around. Take arm up, all the way around. It's a big opener for the shoulder. And a couple more times, take it up and around. And let's reverse it, up and around and up and around. So if you're on your knee, very gently pull yourself up. You got to use your tummy. Take yourself up to center. Realign your hips. Take your knee in. Take yourself back. And we'll come to all fours. So if you're sitting on the floor, come to all fours again. Come to all fours. Do a little cat. So take a breath in. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. And let's see. Exhale cat. Inhale cow. So just take cat, cow, and tuck your toes under as you come to center. We'll press back into our feet. So you just want to shift backwards a little bit. So see my toes are tucked under like this. I'm on my toes. Toes are tucked under, stretching out the the bottoms of our feet. And then we'll climb forward, press up into downward dog. So you're going to press up and back. Hips settle back behind you. They work toward the back wall. Tread out through your feet. One heel, other heel. Relax the back of your neck. Just let your head hang here. And then we'll walk our feet toward our hands and come to a stable place on your feet. Walk your hands back towards you. Come to center. Take your hands to your knees. And you can either roll up slowly or take a swoop through your arms. Come on up to standing. Palms touch. And to the heart. So we're just gathered in here. Closing the door. Get out. Yes. So I'm just standing. My energy's flying out that door. You know, that little crack. It's like, okay. Yes. And so once we stand, take the feet apart and we'll just jangle it out. Just let the shoulders like, let it go. Let everything be real floppy. Take it around and breathe. So see, I'm starting my twirl already. And then you can take a twirl, easy twirl. Yes. Okay, and just circle the arms out. Do a little tap dance if you want, whatever feels good to you right now. Get yourself excited to be in your body right here this morning. And so we'll come to center and do a little crescent moon flow. So we'll take mountain pose, nice and tall and center. If it's accessible for you, let's do this. Let me just say this first. So take our arms up. You can either take hold of one wrist, disappearing wrists. Okay, wherever it is, take hold of one wrist, and we're going to flow side to side, or you can interlace your fingers in steeple mudra, reaching to heaven here with the fingers. Whatever feels right for your body. So let's try it. Take our hands up. Start with holding onto one wrist and press the palms of your hands up. See how that feels? Shoulders are compressed, just resting down, arms extended. Now, see how that feels? Then try interlacing into steeple mudra. You can see it. And up, shoulders soft. So gather your tummy in, easy shoulders, and we're going to take a breath and exhale, arcing over to the right side. Press out through the left side body, reach out long through the arms, and inhale up. Use your tummy to try you up. Exhale, other way, pulling on that top arm with the bottom hand. Ooh, big side bend, and inhale up. Exhale, only go as far as you can still breathe. Inhale, come up to center, exhale, other way. And I'm just going to be quiet and let us flow through this with our own breath. Easy feeling. And last time, come on up to center. Take your palms toward one another. Step out with your feet turning out to the side. Arms come out in 5-pointed stars. So you're just shining here from center. Feel that heart space flying out through your arms, out through your fingertips. And then we'll bend at the elbow, a little goddess pose here. Take a breath. And then bend into your knees. Ooh, snap, crackle, pop. There, so shoulders are wide. Shoulders are relaxed. Energy working up through the ground, up through the center of your body, straight up through the crown of your head, down to the center of the earth as you are grounded here. Amazing, isn't it? And feet pressing, legs pressing out. So you're going to feel a little contraction in your rear end there. The glutes are going to contract to press the thighs out. You're kind of lifting the arches of your feet too. So everything's kind of blossoming out here with strength. On your inhale, open. Extend your arms and legs. Exhale, sit. Inhale, reach. And exhale, sit. So take it at your own pace with your own breath. And only go down as far as you feel comfortable with your legs. Don't force anything, just let it flow. So there's this wonderful relationship between ease and effort here. It's a graceful flowing down with strength, a sweet and graceful flowing up with strength, expanding, press down and hold. Shoulder blades down, tummy's in, lifted, strong. If you want to come out of that bend a little bit, please do. And then we'll inhale up, hands come down, ease out your shoulders. Just kind of float everything around a little bit. Arms kind of flow through the water a little bit. Take your hips side to side and maybe circle out just a little. Okay, so now let's turn your toes forward. Find your center there. You can do a little forward fold. So you might need to bend your knees a little bit. Run your hands down your legs, down your shins, come down to the floor. Take your hands to the floor, bend your knees as much as you need to get there. But you're gonna make sure that the weight of your body is in the center of your feet so that you might have to walk your hands out. We want your hands to be just pretty much underneath the shoulders here. So you have a nice long spine. You're sending your sit bones way back behind you. You're lengthening out your back. I'm gonna turn sideways. So I'm not here like this. I'm pressing out long. Sit bones go up. Glasses fall off. Spine is lengthened, the belly button. The sternum pulls away from the belly button. Now we're gonna take a little twist here. So keeping your left hand on the mat, shift your right hand around. Just take it around to your lower back, to your sacrum here. So you want to put it here to make sure that your hips aren't hiking in one direction or the other. Make sure you're straight back there. Shoulder is pulled up. And now begin your twist. So your spine is nice and long. You're twisting here. Take your head wherever you're comfortable. And as you come open the chest, then you can take the arm up. So you know that you have a nice long spine. You're not rocking your hips in a weird way. Open the heart, take a breath. Tummy's in. This is very strengthening for your legs, your back. Come on down. And then while we're here, we'll take a little cat-cow. So take a breath here. Bend your knees. On your exhale, round your back. On your inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, round. Bend your knees, round your back. And come back to center. And we'll go the other way. So we'll take the right hand to the floor. Lengthen your spine out from your belly button to your sternum. Take your left hand around to your lower back so you can feel that you're not hiking your hip up. Lengthen the spine, turn, open the left chest. Then you can take your arm up. So breathing here, thinking about keeping your spine nice and long. Spine is long. Take a breath, strong legs. On your exhale, float your hand down to the mat. And we'll take another little sequence of cat-cow here. So you want to bend your knees a little bit. On your inhale, lengthen your back. On your exhale, round your back. So your hips or your tailbone's tucking under. Good. So while we're here, we have our hands on the floor. So bend your knees a lot. Take your hands to the floor. Walk your feet together. So your knees come together and you're just going to sit on your mat. Good. Oh, Lordy, that was squeezy. You know what I'm saying? Whew. How do you feel? Notice your body. Have a seat. Notice how you're feeling as you sit. Yes, sirree. Mm-hmm. So we're going to come down to resting on our backs. Yes. Turn around, draw your knees in. Put your knees into your chest. And allow your feet to rest on the mat so the knees are bent. Just take your arms across your chest. Allow them to be very settled and soft. And breathe here. So we're beginning now to allow the spine to be very easy. And I'm going to sit up. You don't have to sit up. If you'd like to close your eyes here, just close your eyes. This is constructive rest position that allows the back to settle. You want to release any tension in your back as best you can, settling the arms down in a way that's comfortable. Breathing, feel the soles of your feet snuggling down into the mat. And soften your face, soften your breath. Just come home to yourself for a moment. Nice and easy and sweet. Good, and then draw your knees into your chest. Oh, good, and we'll take soles of the feet to the sky once again. Press up through your heels, flex and point. Circle out through your ankles, very easy. You can bend your knees a little bit here, just take it nice and easy. And we'll bend the knees and keep the soles of your feet to the sky. So we're gonna come into happy baby. Reaching up, you can take hold of the backs of your knees if you, whatever body part that is, you're behind your knees. And notice that your hips are level here. You want to be very aligned. So if you want to hold on to your knees, that's fine. Or you can reach up, take hold of the pinky toe sides of your feet and spread your knees wide apart. And then begin to bend the knees and pull the knees in toward your underarm area. So it's like you're squatting, but you are on your back with the soles of the feet up. It's also called dead bug. I know you've heard that before. So happy baby, dead bug, it's your choice. And so draw your awareness now down to your very lower back, your sacrum. You're going to press that down toward the floor. Press your lower back down toward the mat. And then we can rock side to side. Just take an easy rock back and forth. Soften your shoulders and your face. Good, nice, easy breath. And we'll come back to center. Release your feet if you have them, and then draw your knees toward one another. We'll keep the right knee in towards your chest. Let your left foot drop down to the mat. So supporting your right leg, either on top of your knee or underneath it, allow your left leg to stretch out long on the floor. Softening shoulders, soften your face, easy breath. And then we'll release the right foot to the mat. Take your left knee in. Now lengthening your right leg along the floor. Notice where your shoulders are, soften, rest. Breathe. We'll plant the left foot on the mat. The left knee is bent. Let's take the right knee up and cross it directly over the left as if you're sitting in a chair. Just be in a real doll face here. You know, your legs are crossed, femme fatale, and then you're going to pick your leg. If this is comfortable, stay here. But we're going to do a little hip opener where you have your legs crossed, your knees are crossed. Pick your left knee up, hold behind your thighs if you can. Pick your feet up so you can see them. And look down and cross. So when you look down at your knees might be touching, and your right foot's directly out to the right, your left foot's to the left. No. Your right foot points to the left side. The left foot points to the right side. That always gets me mixed up. I'm all tangled up. I can't figure it out. So soften your shoulders, and then just rock your head side to side a little bit to ease out your neck. Take your time. Breathe. And come back to center. Draw the left knee towards you a little bit. Breathe. So if you want to stay here, stay here. If you'd like a little bit more just for fun, reach up and take hold of your shins and gently draw the legs towards you. Or you can take soles of your feet, if you can figure that out, or your ankles, whatever feels right. Couple of breaths here, really relaxing in your hips and releasing your legs. Take them up to the sky, press them out, and then other way. So we're going to cross your knees in the other direction. Pull the knees in towards you. Notice where you feel this. Easy shoulders, easy face, easy belly. So from here, if you want to take hold of your ankles, if you want to take hold of your shins, Pull the legs towards you a little bit more. That's fine. If you're comfortable where you are, that's great. If you want to release your legs, that's good. Whatever feels right. And breathe soft. Feet are flexed. And then release. Untangle yourself. Press your feet up to the sky, arms overhead. And then knees, feet to the mat. We'll just rock our knees side to side. Separate your knees about hip width apart, and you just take an easy roll side to side. Easy breath, let your arms relax. Taking your knees as far side to side as feels comfortable for you. You can experiment a little bit about how this release feels. And then we'll take knees to center and walk your right leg out toward the right corner of your mat and your left leg out. Your left foot toward the left corner of your mat. And here you are. In taking your journey to Savasana, your final pose of relaxation. Notice how you feel here. If you need to smooth out your hair, if you want to fix your clothes, if you want to take a pillow underneath your knees, do that. Traditionally, Shavasana is taken just with your legs out, splayed out side to side. The arms are out from your body, maybe 6 to 12 inches, not getting too technical. Shoulders soft. Your face is soft. If you're comfortable here, taking your palms up toward the ceiling, the shoulders might roll open a little bit more. Maybe your heart feels a little more open and broad. Maybe not. Or you can take your hands on your belly or your thighs, wherever you feel most secure and comfortable. So find your spot. And then guiding awareness to an easy, natural breath. Going to begin to allow the weight of our body to settle into the mat underneath. Releasing any tension anywhere in your legs, your feet, belly. Your tummy be very soft. Shoulders soften. Face is easy. Just allow any sense of expression to leave your face so that you're just there with your face hanging loose. The skin around your ears releases. All those head muscles that we played with earlier are softening and easing. Allow yourself just to rest. Just rest. Gently guiding awareness now to your easy breath. And allowing your breath to move through your body so that fingers and toes begin to move gently. Maybe circling out wrists and ankles one more time. And as you're ready, taking a big stretch, a wake up stretch. Guiding knees to chest, rocking out a little bit if that feels comfortable. Just notice what your body's asking for. And then making your way over to one side. And coming back to sitting. So as we come back to sitting, we'll take hands to heart. You can either have your palms touching, of course, or you can just rest your palms on top of one another on your heart and come back to an awareness of that heart space. And share with you from Psalm 73. I am always with you. You hold me by my right hand. You guide me with your counsel, and afterward you will take me into glory. Whom have I in heaven but you? And earth has nothing I desire besides you. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. We thank you, Lord, for drawing us to you with your cords of kindness that you've implanted in our hearts, that strong pull, that magnetic pull toward one another, because we need connection with each other. We need connection with you. And as St. Augustine says, our hearts are restless until they rest in you. So I bring our hearts home to you today that we might walk with you and in you, that we might love one another as you love us, with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and our neighbor as ourselves. For all these things we give thanks. In the name of Jesus the Christ, our healer. Amen. And shalom. Thank you all for practicing with me today. Wish you peace, wholeness, health, prosperity, completeness. God's shalom. We'll see you next time. Thank you and happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy God's heart with you.